A succulent Ugandan pineapple grown in Luero is processed into a product ready for sale on the supermarket shelf. The essence of value addition.
They gave me skills and how to add value, and they showed me many things that you can do to add value to your fruits. Of course, I was interested in working here, being an incubator. I had to apply. Then I applied, I showed them the farm and everything, and they accepted me to be an incubator. And today we are producing our sun-selected juice here.
Technology is being adopted to the technological needs of Uganda through technology transfer.
We are doing manufacturing, machining, and industrial skilling.
This is the Uganda Industrial Research Institute, UIRI, a Government of Uganda institution established by an Act of Parliament in 2002 as a competence and capability center for championing innovation and translating applied research results into practical use. The endeavor is to result in high-quality, efficient industrial products, processes, and highly skilled human resources. UIRI re-emerged in 2002, though it traces its roots to the East African Federation of the 1970s, when it was known as the East African Research Services Organization, IRSO.
In 1977, East African community of that time dissipated, and the Research Services Organization was taken over by the Kenyans, and it was named Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute. Tanzania started in Tanzania Industrial Research Development Organization. Uganda started nothing. Took 20 years for President Museveni to invite the Chinese to set up an industrial research unit in Kampala.
It was not until 2002 that Uganda started a journey of reinvestment in research and development in order to create the foundation of industrial development.
The regional focus was on food science and technology, and the promise was that at a later date they would also build a metallurgical facility for researching and fabricating metallic products.
From a modest beginning, UIRI has now become a regional center of excellence in research and development, R&D, which is spearheading training, especially for young people, equipping them with industrial skills and providing them space to research and develop their ideas into real products. Sarah Jacqueline Kansime, 30 years old, is a budding entrepreneur under the UIRI Incubation program. After graduation, she became one of the many unemployed youths seeking an office job, which was hard to come by.
I had no job. I was home seated. I had to think hard how to make myself busy, how to get something to do. And in me, I've always wanted to do farming.
In 2018, Kansime ventured into fruit growing, even though she had no land and had limited capital investment. Her business was born out of sheer passion and thinking beyond the usual confines of employment.
I had to look for the land. In me, I always thought that people who grow fruits own land. No. I went there, I realized that actually you can lease at a cheaper price. I found myself in Luero. Why? Because I wanted to grow fruits. And what I wanted most is our Ugandan pineapple. Yeah, I love pineapple and I have much to say about it. It is the sweetest fruit in Uganda that we have that is organically grown.
She leased a 5-acre piece of land in Luero where she grows the pineapples. Once the pineapples reached maturity, she was met with shock when pineapples flooded the market and her produce was rotting in the garden.
What UIRI did for me is to allow me use their machines to produce my juice. Secondly is marketing. They have helped me to penetrate the market. Thirdly, it's UNBS. They help us to get the certificate. Like mine, I haven't gotten it, but it's in the process.
Today, the proprietor of Bamkisa Fruit Growers produces Sunny Select juice, ready for sale from pineapples she harvests from her own farm. That is the true essence of value addition. She is making use of the juice production machinery at the UIRI facility to carry out production and storage until she is able to accumulate capital to invest in her own manufacturing equipment. The well-equipped facility trains and incubates hundreds of youths every year. The purpose of technology incubation at UIRI is therefore to effectively link talent like Kansime with technology, capital, and know-how, so as to leverage entrepreneurship and accelerate the development of new firms. This will speed up the uptake of technology within the economy and growth of private industry.
We had very dismal statistics regarding success rate of startup companies. In fact, there is some statement within the literature, especially by the World Bank, that says Uganda is the highest, most entrepreneurial country in the world. But its mortality rate of its startup companies is also among the highest in the world. So you build enterprises, they fail. Why is that? Again, just like Uganda Industrial Research Institute needed technology and skilled people, so does industry as a whole. So startups had to be supported.
Tom Oluka, the proprietor of Move Fresh Dairy, which produces yogurt, found himself jobless when the first wave of COVID-19 hit and there was a subsequent lockdown in 2020.
The job has gone. Where can I start from? I had a family, I had the people to take care of, and I had to sit down and think. And at the end, I came up with this.
He had the idea of making yogurt, which he started from home, but the quantities were small and he wanted to meet high-quality food standards that would allow him to penetrate the market.
I started this yogurt from outside. I was making 30 liters from my home, but I wanted to make something better. That's why I had an idea of coming to UIRI.
Because Oluka ventured into a business with a readily available raw material, like milk, he is a major link in the dairy industry value chain. As his business venture grows, he creates employment for the many youths and generates a better market for dairy farmers.
When I went for my market analysis, I thought that milk was really selling. And I had also a friend who was doing it, and these are the same people who motivated me to go for milk.
Bananas, one of the food staples in many parts of Uganda, produces a byproduct, banana fibers, which Samuel Niwagaba of Sam's Paper Production is utilizing to grow. From banana fibers and other waste products, he gets the raw materials which feed his cottage business.
Nalina ekiroto nga njagala kukola empapula nga njagala kuyiga nga bwe bakola empapula nga ndaba empapula ku katale naye nga simanyi engeri gye bazikolamu. Kati bwe nali noonyereza n'enkizuula ku Uganda Industrial Research Institute nti bayigiriza okukola empapula. Kati bwe najja ne bantraininga ate ne bampa n'ekifo nkolerewo kubanga balina incubation program. Gamba bwe batraininga omuntu baba baagala akole then kati ayongereyo akulaakulane. Kati bantraininga ne bampa n'ekifo n'embeera nga nkolerawo okutuuka bwe naafuna machines ezange n'engenda wabweru n'embeera independent.
Niwagaba finishes off some of his products with a Ugandan map, an image that demonstrates the pride he has for his country. His organic paper bags are ready for supply to the environmentally conscious, growing tourism sector.
Abantu abeetaaga packaging bags gye bali okugeza. Tuna mu craft shops, abarambuzi abajja wano mu ggwanga baba baagala kukozesa packaging nga bakozesebwa mu material eziri nakyo. Kati bo bamanyi we basobola ozigula, kati bazigula mu craft shops, companies zino ez'abarambuzi ezireeta abagenyi wano, kati baba baagala kupakagingiramu abagenyi baabwe bwe baba baze wano. Kati abo be bakasitoma bange.
Professor Charles Kwesiga, the Executive Director of Uganda Industrial Research Institute, believes that research and development are key in Uganda's progress to attain industrialization.
Development globally has squarely depended on R&D, research and development. And so, in keeping with traditions, the global tradition, any country to develop must have some involvement in research and development. And so it was it was understandable that without R&D you really can't go far. My coming on board was by invitation from His Excellency the President. I had lived and worked in America for 26 years, part of it as a professor at the university, part of it as a corporate manager, and by profession I'm an industrial engineer. And so when I came on board, I had all these ideas of what happens in those countries because of that exposure. And then I was looking at what is really needed for things to get started in this country. And there's a quick realization that we needed technologies, we needed high human capital, that is highly skilled manpower, engineers specifically, engineers and technicians, and we needed financial support, budget. With those three, we could be able to put together programs for a robust industrial research facility.
At this industrial complex in Nammanve Industrial Park is Uganda's Industrial Research Institute, which is developing technologies and carrying out transfer of new age technologies for the country to catch up with the rest of the world in industrial production. It is a symbol of growing partnerships and renewed commitment by the country to invest in research and development.
The essence of Nammanve, first of all, is to develop technologies and provide platforms for apprenticeship. Now, on the technology side of the business, while in Nakawa we talk about value addition, we talk about the supporting startups and so on. On the other side of the coin, we're importing every piece of equipment we need for these startups to use. And there's no way in the world that you can ever be effective at industrializing a country or your economy if you are totally dependent on foreign technology. And so the key consideration at Nammanve is develop technologies, develop machines, and have an impact on import substitution.
Here, application of computer-aided design and manufacturing technology, which is widely recognized as one of the cornerstones of industrial development, is being introduced. In developed countries, the technology is used in automotive industries, development of healthcare, consumer electronics and telecommunication products, and aerospace industries. Robotics are also being tried out here. The center is stocking up machinery and skilling its staff to make the country ready for import substitution of many small machinery components, which are imported into the country at a very high cost to the economy.
If I have to import everything to process my milk, And I have to get pasteurized, even nuts and bolts and pipes and so on, and storage tanks. How long will it take before I can break even? And so we have to change that and at least reduce on our desire and hunger for imported technology.
Technology transfer and development in Uganda can indeed be addressed by acquiring technologies from developed countries and adapting them for local application. The Institute is currently involved in several collaborative technology transfer projects with internationally renowned research organizations from more industrialized countries, such as Malaysia and China. They are skilling Ugandans who will be the technology producers of the future. Matthias Nsimbe, a Ugandan engineer, oversees the floor at this Center for Machine Manufacturing and Industrial Skilling Center in Nammamve.
My background is in Chambogo University, oil and gas production. Then from there I trained in Malaysia as a certified inspector of production systems and welding. And then I was sent to Trinidad, and I also was certified in electrical maintenance in production systems. Still again, when I was there in Trinidad, I also worked offshore, and still I got a certification in production systems. We are doing manufacturing, machining, and industrial skilling. So in a bit of manufacturing, what we are looking at is product substitution, and mainly we are looking at the sector of spare parts and machine parts. So those that are imported in, like spare parts for borders, for motor vehicles, what we are looking to substitute those ones by making them ourselves. So we are training and skilling Ugandans with the help of the Chinese that you have seen to try and grasp those skills, how to use all this equipment here so that we can start producing the machines. At the same time, we shall be doing skilling, and that is in apprenticeships, internships, people who have projects, people who are doing research, all of them are welcome.
The Machining Center is bridging a crucial industrialization gap, demonstrating that Ugandan industries are ready to buy and utilize Ugandan-made machinery if attention is given to quality using modern, precise technologies in manufacturing.
We are already producing machines. We have done some production machines for like dairies plants, dairy tanks. We have done spare parts for people in Chiseka. We have worked with ESCOM. We are kind of working on some project of theirs, some bushings for their machinery. We are working with tractor, someone who's selling tractors. We can make a spare part for a tractor. Like if you have a breakdown in a tractor and you need something replaced or done repair on, you can just bring the spare part here. We have equipment here that can actually reproduce it and make the exact one instead of importing that spare part. So the big equipment is to do heavy work. An example is the bushing of, let me say, an engine in a train. If it had a problem, we just carry it using our 10-ton crane that you've seen above us, that we bring it here and we use these ones. All these ones do the same work as the small machines, but for bigger work. If you have like something as big as a rail engine or a truck engine, that's where we use those big equipment there.
The Nammamve complex is also a skills development center. UIRI offers hands-on skills training in diverse areas such as food processing, weaving and textiles, bamboo value addition, carpentry, metal fabrication, minerals and materials processing, among others. This is the textile section where hundreds of tailors are trained on turning fabric into functional products ready for the market. Not only are they given a better chance of finding employment, but these youth are part of the plan to launch a truly functioning textile industry, which can lead to textile export. In the carpentry section, youth have a chance to train with quality equipment to make high-quality carpentry products out of Ugandan timber. The facility is equipped with an electric dryer where trainee carpenters can learn firsthand how to dry timber and machine it to make highly needed timber products for the market. Some of the products which have been made here are put on display for customers.
I've heard of some of our incubatees even selling products on Amazon, and So there are many success stories. The growth of the facility like this, that you can write a winning proposal to get a $30 million grant to build a facility like this, and to stock it with modern day technologies. If that's not an achievement, I don't know what is.
UIRI has become a center of excellence in East Africa, in spite of being the newest research and development facility in the region.
I received a plaque from the President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, recognizing UIRI as a center of excellence for East African community in R&D. This was done through a competitive process. It was East Africa wide, and we came on top as a center of excellence in research and development. There was a group of people, examiners, visiting facilities, looking at what they do, looking at their records, looking at their achievements, and they came out with a verdict that we are the best.
So, how can the research facility prepare Ugandans for mindset change and nurture a mindset which favors industrialization?
There are many aspects, beginning with how do we prepare our technicians and engineers? How do we prepare society to recognize and realize their potential? How do we find success in a modern day world? There are a lot of ways. Even in governance, how do we get our political leaders to understand the realities of where we are?
Uganda Industrial Research Institute is leading the way in undertaking applied research and to develop and acquire appropriate technologies in order to create a strong and effective and competitive industrial sector in Uganda, which will catalyze socio-economic transformation of the country. Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Brought to you by Operation Wealth Creation.